My pleasure to introduce Jean Penicaut from Lumiere Technology, who's going to describe their work in advanced digitization of fine art.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you for coming. My name is Jean Penicaut. I am the CEO of Lumiere Technology. We are originally a manufacturer of RGB and GIS high-definition scanning systems, and we sell cameras with a resolution at 240 million pixels and with a geometry certification of 12 microns for large format for digitizing archive. That was our former business. And we have customers as the Western Michigan University, the French Land Cadastre Authority, or for RGB, we have the Library of Congress in Washington, the Washington State Archives in Olympia, and we deliver some machines in museums and some newspaper too, and prestigious institutions as also the Library of the Archive of Canada in Ottawa, and the Canton de Genève in Geneva. So we sell now a service which is totally different over a new technology with a multispectral scanner. So we scan in public and private collection with the highest definition never obtained before, 240 million true pixels, an accuracy never obtained, never before, with a special technique, digital public and private collections with the highest resolution. So we come to museums and we scan with this Jumbo Lux and Jumbo Light patented system camera, digital artwork. This is the scan of the La Vie de Picasso to the Cleveland Museum of Art. And you see the white true ray with passing 13 times the canvas, and we share the light and the answer of the pigment from UV to infrared at this definition. So we obtained 13 files, and that give us, by a reconstruction and resizing, an amazing images with 1.6 gigabytes of data. And we obtained this one. With this definition. And because we have a measurement and not just a representation, we have also behind this image the knowledge of this image with the infrared, with the same definition, and the state of art of all the restoration and the cracks and the varnish and the pigment analysis, etc. So this is the most powerful tool for study history of art. So we can also browse this kind of images online. So I want to show you now how we made with Mona Lisa. So we obtained with this camera 13 pictures from UV to infrared, sharing the light, all the 40 nanometers. We have UV, it is invisible here, and you have the infrared here, who are also invisible. And we reconstruct, after that, the images to give you the perfect color of the painting. That gives you this resolution. So that was the digital scan of Mona Lisa in the Louvre 2 years ago with the research laboratory of French museums. And so you have the ability to see each details, and in each pixel you have the spectrum of the pigment, of the bind, and of the varnish used by the painter. So it is an incredible tool for knowledge, studying, reproduction, curating, and as you want. And it is a measurement, so we can follow the evolution for a very long time of all the screens and the printing process, ink, papers, etc., to obtain the perfect gamut. The gamut is the memory you have in your mind of the perception of the color, and we cover 97% of the gamut as RGB 55. RGB is just a representation, because when you digitize something with RGB on Photoshop, after that you adjust the digitization as you feel at this time. With our measurement, never we correct. It's always a scientific measure, and we can compare on same basis paintings. So this is Mona Lisa, as you can see her, actually, behind the glass in the Louvre. But also we have the knowledge of this painting with all its restoration. And you can see by this infrared false color process, totally automatically generated when we construct the painting, you have the exact abilities to see the differences of the pigments. This is here azurite, and here is lapis lazuli. You can see with a very good precision all the cracks and all the restoration in violet. You can see also the under drying under the infrared here. She has moved her hand, and you can see also a cover, a fear cover she has on her knee. I'm sorry, I am unable, as the Canadian explained to us, I am unable to tell you that she was pregnant. I don't know. It's impossible for me to give you this information. But what can I do is to give you another information, very interesting, the true color of Mona Lisa. We have removed the varnish, and I will show you now how from this information we have removed the varnish from totally virtually from the painting, like that. Sorry, I have to find. So the pixel give us on the entire surface the pigment, the bind, and the varnish. And we have that on the entire surface of the painting. So for this painting, we have 87 million pixels. And in each pixel, we have certain information. We give you the exact spectrum definition of the varnish, of the painting and the varnish. So we have decided to remove virtually the varnish by first an aging process with equivalent varnish used by Leonardo da Vinci. So we age it for 500th century by special treatment, and we make after that the spectrum of in each pixel. This is the blue one. And the spectrum of the varnish is the pink one. So we subtract the pink one from the yellow one. Mathematically, it's not exactly simple, but we obtain the result of the yellow one, and we verify on with the pigment, pure pigment here on the blue light one. And the average of that gives you this information from the original color to the virtual restoration of Mona Lisa. So what is totally new is that we can make that for any paintings we have digitized. And this is the ultimate digital capture systems for fine arts. So now we can see on the expert and actually the first report on the news magazine in France explained to people that now we have the DNA of any painting we digitize. So here you see we have 18 million pixels of this informations, and each pixel has this curve, and this curve gives you the exact measurement of a painting forever. So now we are coming to see more paintings. This one is from John James Audubon. Is from John James Audubon at the New York Historical Society. So you can see with all the details of the Royal Eagle, of the watercolor aquarellas from John James Audubon, and with details, very interesting details. You know, here with the drawing, etc. So what is able now is that we can browse inside a painting and online. So I can show you more. The Great Egret from also the New York Historical Society. I can show you also the famous pink flamingos that every US family has at home, I think. But this is, sorry? Only in Florida. Yeah. What is interesting is that we have the true color. And I have never seen in a shop the true color. So you can see lots of details. I can show you now this one with the Menardi that gives you lots of information of a technique with the Verdaccio. So you can see with this precision how he put his stroke with pink and green. You can see also lots of details in this canvas, or a panel. It is a panel. You know, the little guy here, or some ghosts here, boats here. And you have also wonderful red and gold details, very difficult to obtain by a simple RGB. We can see also this interesting Georges de la Tour. And what we see from this painting from the Museum of Cherbourg is that we discover with our system some little, not mushrooms, you know, but behind the bind and the varnish was very damaged for the painting. So that was very easy to find. And fungus, yes. This is a Le Nain from private collection, and we can see also more from here with details. This is a panel from my collection, Quattrocinto period, so the same age as Mona Lisa, and we can see the false color, so all the restoration and the state of these painting, and also the infrared in black and white. But you know, false color give you more information because that gives you discrimination. So I can show you also how we unvarnish a painting. So this is a panel from a Dutch painter. His name is Van Delen. And you have the false color infrared will give you details of the correction in the paintings at the same time. And also we can simulate the unvarnished painting before restoration to just evaluate the restoration and what the work you have to make. But you know, if you just see the underdrawing, you see details from the original. I can show you now a Fragonard. This Fragonard is in a family collection in Paris before to be donated to the Louvre, and I have the infrared too. I love this painting because I hit in front of, I think, 100 times in my life, and I've never seen as I see now, you know, with detail like here, you know, the little nuance of red here, and also details on the ends. So this is the new way for studying art. We can see modern as another one here with Marie Antoinette. This is an interesting pastel, and the study of this pastel with the infrared gives you details of the origin of this pastel, and confirm that from the UV and the infrared you have a difference. And the difference reveals that was the first pastel never made by Ducreux at the Austrian court. We know that the mother of the infant Marie Antoinette refused the first one because she considers the first one was too young. So it was not the idea of a fiancé that she wanted to give to the old king of France. So the infrared gives you this information. You know, if you compare, it is not the same portrait. So that gives you all the authentication of the painting. And we have also some interesting discovery. A guy who came with this nice Angélus de Millet, he considered after a little study, he was a plumber in the south of France, a loving heart, as you and me. And he bought that for, I think, 20 or 40 bucks. And in his mind, he said, perhaps it is a nice copy of Millet. Who has copied Millet? And Van Gogh was on the top list. So he sent this picture, a picture to the Van Gogh Museum, and of course the Van Gogh Museum answered no. So he came to visit us and said, could you please scan this nice painting, because I am sure that perhaps we will discover something. The details of this painting give us some answer. Here you have something like Millet. And if we have the false color, that gives you d'après Millet. And the d'après Millet is the exact scripturation of Van Gogh. And we know that he made this painting, and later he mentioned that he made it. So the guy now is coming to the Van Gogh Museum with the perfect file we made for him with his brother inside, and with a nice copy, printed copy, and with lots of information about the pigment definition of the painting and of the varnish. So for expertise, it is an incomparable tool. Lots of nice things I can show you. This one too is supposed to be Van Gogh. He was from Van Gogh, Johanna's sister, Van Gogh's sister Johanna collection, but once an expert told the signature was not from Van Gogh. So this painting was sold for 100 bucks, I don't know where in Netherlands, and we scan it, and the details, it's totally incredible here. You know, this is a glaneuse. I don't know the name of a woman who is in the country for that, but you know, look the detail. Also, we can scan just aquarellas or gouache. This is a Picasso, and you have UV and infrared with the same knowledge. And I can show you more. Difficult little panel to see. It is a painting over another painting with over the other one. It's difficult just by your eye, and you can grow inside this panel, and you have the false color, who reveals that the portrait of the woman is upper the little man, and the infrared will give you more information for the underdrawing and how he made this painting. It is perhaps a Picasso from the very early period in the Bateau Lavoir, and it is perhaps the sister of Picasso. We can see this amazing Chagall. The most difficulty for us is to scan reds, because, you know, to give you the nuance of red, it is the main difficulties for photographs. And so here you can see here all the amazing nuance that this Prince of Color was Chagall made, and we have also behind that all the infrared and all the study of the painting. And just for finish, this is a nice Renoir. You can see to the Museum of the Orangery, and you have also the false color will give you lots of information. Another big one, Renoir. Where is it? Okay. So we are online too. So it is totally new, because we can share this information with everybody online, and this is the reason why I am here, because now we can have this kind of visit of museums with this the same acuity and the same accuracy and the same definition. The main difficulties for us is to come in museums for digitization. And we have now online from our website, Lumiere Technology, capabilities to go and to browse exactly with the same definitions that 2 minutes before on my computer. So it's very easy. It is actually just for PC and with Explorer. And but inside this nice painting, you have details as this signature inside the body of the central detail of the painting. So so you can see and consult that on our website. For us, the analogy with Google Earth is evident. We use the same sensor to capture the image from the satellite. We have the same approach as the team we visited in Purdue University. We invented the multispectral scan for just to see the state of art of the growth and culture of corn paid and sponsored by Kellogg's. So we made them, and they was totally amazed by the results they saw, and they made lots of verification and to say you are at the top of your technology too in front of a canvas. I was last week in Pasadena at the 34th conference of the Museum Computer Network, and I met around 40 museums. I came also to the Getty and the studio department last Monday, with the top as the technique of digitization, and what they saw and what you see now has changed their minds. Now we have to come in museum to digitize their entire collections, hanged and stored, or more or less a long period. It depends on the time of the museum, and the time of a museum is not our time here on our business company. The most difficulties is to take a painting, to unframe it, to put it on a roll, and to bring it in front of the scanner. So we want to install in museums multispectral rooms, and in 20 to 40 minutes we will digitize the painting, and we have the equivalent time to reconstruct on our quad computers. And we deliver at the same time this result on any illuminant you want, because the beauty of that we have achieved the dream of Bill Gates. We have now the abilities to put on your wall the exact color of a painting under an illuminant you wish. If you want the illuminant of the candlelight, as Leonardo saw his painting in his room, or if you want to see that because you are on Bliop and you have trouble for red and green, we can give you this information and give this information on the screen as we want. So the data are stored on our server in the museum for studying with equivalence with our pigment databases, because we made also lots of researches about pigments, and also to keep the data, to be sure that the data will be kept safely and with always the same scientific protocol, So when we talk with museum, all explain to us that they don't want to be to make as they did and they made with Corbis 5 or 6 years ago, because Corbis was founded by Bill Gates, or just in this goal to put on the walls masterpieces of art. They want to keep the copyright of the image, and I understand, and I agree for that. Because the knowledge of this image, we just have this knowledge, not the museum, because we have the equivalence with the pigment databases. So what is important now is not the image, but the knowledge of the image. And we can provide for comparison, studying, reproducing with the best quality this image. And this data, nobody except us can create value from them. What we want to do is to create a worldwide databases of pigments, of the digital palette of painter around the world, by period, blue one, yellow, pink one for Picasso, etc., etc. And we think we can make that in less than 3 years. After that, we will have such information that the next 20 years will not suffer to study them with all the art department in universities. Yes?
I mean, surely the copyrights on these things are old enough that they will expire by now?
I explained for the copyright after. In fact, actually, we have no legal status for the pixel and the knowledge of the pixel. We know for the image, but we don't know behind the image. So it's empty. We have to create this new paradigm for legacy and copyright.
But you are allowed to freely redistribute the pictures that you've taken.
What we want to create a network with the museums to follow this knowledge and to share this knowledge with the museums. We have in each painting the DNA of the painting. We have the truth of the paintings. So we can make lots of profit from this knowledge, and perhaps from this image, but also from something which doesn't exist now. Identification, comparison, e-publishing, posters, insurance certification, ratings for sales, etc. We can create first a pay-per-view, the perfect pay-per-view system for digital image as this definition. To visit virtual exhibition, after an event around a theme or on a painter, you have actually exhibition around the world, 3 months in Chicago, 3 months in London, 3 months in Madrid or in Ottawa. And after that, you just have a dirty book with dirty colors to remember this amazing exhibition. Imagine the second life of this exhibition online with this accuracy, pay-per-viewed. You just have to pay and you can go in the amazing Tiziano exhibition, Da Vinci exhibition, and we can create this memory. We can also, from this virtual exhibition, create lots of derived products, posters, etc., with a colorimetry certification as the best printed posters, and you can order that on the luminant you want. It is an occasion to open the value of such exhibition for people who can't travel at this time and would appreciate to visit it. Instead to have 300 visitors, imagine the audience on the web on, I don't know, 2-3 years from China, from Africa, India, or here, America, for people who never will go in Chicago, in Paris to visit an exhibition. Such digitization should be also decreasing the insurance rates from shipping by a better knowledge of the state of the paintings. I think the master word for this knowledge economy is sharing. We have to share, we have to share, we have to share. And we can reinvent a new access for fine arts and a new way for also sponsoring exhibition. And it's not here, I am in the mecca of the profit by advertising, and it's not here I have to explain you that. But imagine a visit of your museum with all the paintings like that, and with local advert and you know, publishing advert, etc. So, and we can also change the manner of patroning an exhibition. For Google, it will be the fair manner to patron, I think, a new way for digital arts and for the knowledge about fine arts, given another impression than you are in Europe and I think everywhere as a cultural predator sometimes. Sorry. If you listen, just the reaction of the local chairman of the French library, etc., you see that it's very difficult for them to understand, in fact, the amazing work you do. Last week at the MCN conference, you had a session about Google and the thumbnails issued from the museum's collection. What a pity to see such distinguished person arguing on the intellectual property of a vignette just because they don't evaluate the share revenues they could expect from Google of such an age. So I have a dream. Perhaps we can create together Google Art. In 3 years, to sponsor the digitization of all the masterpieces of art in the storage and on the wall of museums, I think it concerns 100 museums, and the price of that, the budget of that could be around $35 to $40 million. It is the price of the very bad Picasso. But from that, you could encourage this innovative vision of studying pictorial of artworks, and it is a very profitable call at term around all derived products who don't exist yet, but which will generate revenues and income. If you think to apply the gold rule in this matter, sharing, 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 with all people, institutions, museum, estate, involved in or by the diffusion of the image and the knowledge around them. And this is the reason why all this legacy problem will be resolved, because if you pay, if you share, you can make a large consensus of the diffusion of the image with lots of security systems, watermarked, etc., etc.
So, I mean, you're talking about sharing it, but you're still going to charge people to access it.
Yeah, but the income will be shared. For high resolution, if you want to follow, if you want to use these images for a university, for a pitch, a conference, etc., you can pay $10 or $20 for that. It is easy, and also you can enter in this knowledge with lots of adverts around this event or around this museum, etc. You know. What is the value? I just want to open your mind of some new business possible. Look, this is a Fragonard. What is the value of the nuance of this painting for a woman who wants to change her decoration in her flat from this portrait of Fragonard? The yellow for the chairs, the gray for the carpet, the red for the curtains. By just giving to the paint maker, the guy who made the painting, the idea of the nuance and an illuminant she wished, because in fact she wants this yellow but in a dark room, you know, without windows, so without windows, without daylight, so she wants the same nuance with an halogen lamp. She will obtain a perfect restitution of her sensible perception of this artwork, and she can pay $50 for that, and it is pure margin. What is the value of the ads around the advert around this painting or this artist automatically generated by Amazon on Print and Fine Arts or Last Minute who wants to propose a trip to the museum with lots of Fragonard? What is the value of the new box, like the Getty box? I explained that to the Getty. You know, a nice cube as you can see in the Getty. You go inside this little cube and you have a relaxing massage armchair, a nice cream, and you can grow and inside the painting, listening because it is Renoir, the music of Fauré or Ravel, and have lots of fun and you know, enjoyment just to see what you have seen in the reality. And you can pay for that $5, I don't know. Or you can have some more advert around this consultation. Yeah, yeah. What is the value of a digital station pay-per-view for art department of library of a university? Last year I came to visit the art department of Stanford, and they explained to me that it was not for them just to pay $10,000 each year to have access to 18th century paintings databanks with such resolution is not wrong for them. They think it is interesting to pay for this such access of such quality. What is the value of a movie making from one? We can from these data make one movie for about Fragonard with 2 or 3 experts. Every image from this multispectral scan has a value, a certification, a usage to generate income and pleasure. So to build this amazing project, we need a strong partnership. The reason why I'm here is to tell you that we can together make the best, largest, and revolutionary research image portal for museums, collections, about ancient and contemporary artists, to become the real leading basement of history of arts studies. Once we will have digitized, I think, 10,000 paintings, it will be very profitable. With your patronage, Google Art, as Vuitton made that for the big exhibition in Chicago, in Paris. But here on the web, it would be very easier and acceptable by the majority of museums. It would be a perfect answer to those who claim against Google, showing also your ability to encourage and patron arts researches. Beyond image, to manage the knowledge of paintings, of their history, to open the mind of people always constrained actually by poor reproduction so far from the reality. It is now, I think, in the digital age and knowledge economy, absolutely unacceptable. The reason why I'm here also is to find investors, so it's the reason why I come in the Valley, who could easily understand the development of our project, from acquisition to researches, from diffusion to creation of value, from promotion of a norm as Dolby for the sound, but here we have Dolby for the color, and we can make this standard for printing and for researches, and we have the perfect tool for that. And we can also give the rules for the best definition for screens, for printing, and for choosing inks. We have next year order on printed machines with 24 inkjet specification to obtain the best printed and the best gamut, the best definition of colors of the reality. We have supplied the best digital capture system in the world of art, and for a long time as measurement. We have supplied the smartest browser on PC for a museum to communicate, merging documents, MPEG, pictures, like that. You know, you can put beside any painting a video very easily. And so we can explain, a curator can explain his painting just beside the painting. We can merge in this document with MPEG, with links, with comments, sounds, etc., and advert at the highest definition possible. And behind the painting, giving you the invisible. And that is really impressive. And this knowledge, passionate people who love art, just to see behind the painting how was the painting, etc. So we have proven our abilities and we have to deploy our service. Of course, we will have new legal status of the pixel to argue copyrights are not sufficient. At a famous picture agency visited last year in Seattle, who told me, Corbis, Jean, you change our business model. I answered, no, I go further in the unlimited way of digital knowledge on scientific basis. It is time to share knowledge outside laboratories and publication, letting ignorant, nice people discovering at home or on the fair market wonderful masterpieces of art, as I shown you 2 minutes before. It is each week we have requests about people and such paintings supposed to be a Van Gogh, a Picasso, or Chagall, always recused on the little pictures without any element of comparison, just by mail to say no, no. And you have seen the result. We don't want to be experts. We want to deliver the most complete files to experts, increasing their expertise. It is time also online to build the Bureau Veritas for pictorial artwork. You know, the Bureau Veritas has all the ship around the world and the boats, and they have central authorities for that, and insurance company will be very interested by collecting this information too. With all securities and confidentiality process, of course. It is time to give to our children and students the exact reason why Renoir, painting without dark and black, you know, you don't have any dark in this painting. Only with blue, by letting our children discovering by themselves this new matter about Impressionism. They will enjoy in these 3 dimensions this incomparable movement of art in art history. We can now study as never, browsing inside the image and enjoy with a unique pleasure how this painting was made, strokes, color palette of the painter, etc., on site and online. So, I think after seeing this kind of painting online, you change your mind when you are entering the new museum. It is another way for understanding. And your next visit in the museum will be more enjoyable because you will also share this pleasure with people around you. You know, I think if we succeed, we will have made something with further Earth, you know, and this is the reason why I'm happy to work in this company. What I know is that I will make it. I don't know with authorities or patron, but I will make it. And I wish to create a strong partnership, perhaps with you, I hope so, to create this Google Art Vision from Europe to New York and here, to build something further us in the universal peaceful domain beyond all our different art. So that was that I wanted to tell you this morning. I'm sorry because it is not in a good French, in a good English, because I am French, and that's not all the time easy. But just a detail, this is Mona Lisa, and we have discovered just by our software that here, where is it? Here, this is a detail, you have a minium drop. Minium is the orange modern pigment that you put under the iron to avoid the oxidation. Okay. Perhaps it is the guy who stolen this painting in 1911. He was a painter, and we think that taking the painting in his heart, he had some, minium on his coat and things like that. So we have discovered that. But it's passionate for people. Mona Lisa is like a goddess in Japan. So imagine the day we will open a website with Mona Lisa, with the Louvre on pay-per-view. We will have great success. So, and all the experts involved in this matter of Mona Lisa, arts, etc., Italian, from Firenze, the Uffizi, etc., are totally amazed by this manner to study. So now, how we can change this world of art together? That's my question. Thank you.